All right, now we live on YouTube as well. All right, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube, Volcy Thoughts. Also subscribe to the Black Atheist Coalition on YouTube as well. I'm live across all that. I'm live on TikTok and both YouTube pages. What made me wake up is someone do a live about guys, and I really have no proof. I'm not even sure what your type of question you're asking. Here's the thing. I don't like to talk to the chat, so if you can actually request and come up, because there could be something lost in translation between what you type and what I understand. So actually request and come up and talk to me instead of like just going in the box and being in the chat box, because I'm not really understanding your question. What made me wake up and do the live? I feel like doing it. Well, I'm not like what type of I don't know. All right, dangerous ground being shredded. Not really. I don't tend to follow everything either. If you follow Jesus, that's all good and well, but I don't believe that Jesus is an actual divine creature. And if you think so, come on up and talk to me about it. I've already said this. I don't really like talking to the chat, y'all, because like things are gonna get lost in translation between what I understood, what you read, what I understood, what I read, and what you're trying to convey. So if y'all would actually like to have a discussion about it, why don't y'all just actually come on up and talk to me? I'm a nice guy. You could ask all the other atheists on this platform, like Thinker, Justin, Joyful, who's also live right now. You can ask all of them. I'm a pretty nice guy. I don't tend to yell, shout, scream, and rant and rave at people. So you don't have to be afraid to actually, speak to me about any of these issues y'all want to speak to me about. We got 323 people in here, y'all. 323 people in here. I do appreciate everybody who's here. Go ahead and keep liking up the live. Okay, let's read. Atheism is another way of saying someone who conjured up belief daily with Chewy. That makes no sense at all, because atheism is not a belief. Atheism is not a belief. It's a rejection of a position. So I'm not sure what you're trying to say. This is what I mean, y'all. All right, we finally got a guest.
I figured I didn't want
Chewy,
to.
how's it going?
It's going, man. How's it going? I was having a hard time listening to you butcher the definition of atheism.
What is the definition of atheism to you?
Someone who conjures up unbelief daily with their imagination.
That's not the definition of atheism. Where'd you get that from?
Define atheism.
Lack of belief in gods or gods.
Where'd you get that definition from?
The dictionary.
What dictionary?
All of them.
Really, that's interesting, because you know that unicorn was an actual animal that existed.
All right, bro. You have a good night. All right.
Oh, you don't know what the dictionaries are.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and bring up Savvy Moon. I ain't got time for the. What happened to Savvy Moon? There you go. All right, so I'm gonna bring up Savvy Moon. Savvy, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Can I get your? Are you over 18 for the TikTok purposes?
Yeah, I'm 33.
All right, great. Any type of believer?
I'm a Christian.
Cool. So what you got for me? We'll put 20 minutes on the clock.
Okay. Here's the thing. I think everyone goes through a period where they question it, question their faith, question God, question everything. And I feel like that's normal. I think Christians do that often, especially when reading through the Bible, just because it's like some of it is just so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say though is my brain cannot fathom that people do not actually deep down believe in God. Because I just feel like everyone eventually will get there. I mean, even Thomas the Apostle, he didn't believe in Jesus's resurrection. He wanted to actually touch the wounds,
Yeah, sure. But the thing is, I think the default position is not belief until you actually believe something. Like, for example, if I were to tell you that I have $10 million in a chest in the Bahamas, are you just going to take my word from it? Or are you actually going to want to go ahead and fly to the Bahamas and see the chest?
So I think that difference is I wouldn't know about your money unless you brought it up.
Right, exactly. But are you going to believe me just because I said so?
What if you would never show me?
Right. That's exactly my point. If I were to say I have $10 million in a chest in Bahamas, you're not just gonna say, okay, you have it. You're gonna be like, okay, you gotta show me this money. If I told you, you just gotta believe I have it, you're not just gonna believe that.
Sure. I mean, that's totally fine. But
All right.
I think, although I understand your point, you are also conflating human with God.
hmm What the thing is, what I'm conflating is the claims, because right now, as far as I know, we have claims of gods and claims of Jesus dying on the cross. We don't actually have the evidence of it. Now, I don't not Jesus dying on the cross, because Jesus dying on the cross is something that I could accept that happened, because people were crucified all the time in ancient Rome. It's the resurrection, his raising Lazarus from the dead, walking on water, turning water into wine, healing the blind and the sick, etc., etc. I could accept that Jesus was a guy who was going around, speaking to people in ancient Palestine. But as far as his miracles go, that's the thing that I don't have any reason to believe.
Do you know what happened with Thomas the Apostle?
Thomas, he ended up eventually believing it, because if I'm remembering that story correctly, he ended up seeing Jesus he ended up seeing the resurrected Jesus, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he didn't believe that he had died. He said, I need to see him. I need to see the wounds.
Mhm. Yeah, and he eventually saw the resurrected Jesus. I mean, yeah, that's all good and well. My position is that's still just a story.
Well, here's the problem though. Okay. We have two sides of the coin, and all of that is based on historical writings. And that is what we use as theories in history, quite frankly. So we can't prove anything aside from people's writings. And you can say it's just a story, but I find it hard to believe that it's just a story when so many different times around the entire world, different continents, different decades, people had the same story and it came to the same conclusion. There are a little bit of differences, just with maybe the timeline, that sort of thing, but it's still essentially the same story.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen eventually. I'm pretty sure, like the stories of the ancient Greek pantheon, and when it transferred over to Rome, it was still essentially the same stories. But we know that Hera is not the one who makes plants grow. You see what I'm saying? So it's that what I would say to that is that I understand, like, all these stories can be from different times and different eras, but what we also need to understand is that this story is only in a certain spot. Yeah, I mean, like, my ancestors knew nothing about Jesus, so they were worshiping Nzinga and Mowindo and Ogun and Oshun. That was their gods. They didn't know about that until Belgium and France and Portugal and all that came to Western Africa. You see what I'm saying? So these stories are like, I'm fine with the stories existing, and I'm even fine with them being still like consistent. I mean, I don't think a lot of them are consistent, but like, I'm fine with it being consistent. But it just being the story, if we don't actually have the evidence of the story being true, I don't have a reason to believe it.
So again, back to the evidence that you need. It's like the only evidence that you could have that would basically change your mind or convince you would be a video. And even then, how could that happen? So what do you mean by evidence?
Yeah, actually, that's actually good evidence. Video would be good. Something tangible would actually
But we
be
can't
good
have
evidence.
that, right?
Yeah, we can. I mean, we're not gonna have that for ancient times, of course, but like something tangible from back then would suffice. You see what I'm saying? Because like the only place that we have any like reference to Jesus rising from the dead is just the Bible itself. Everything else written about it was people just believe this happened, and that's really it.
I mean, the problem with this argument is that there is no, in your mind, tangible evidence. The shroud can't be proven, right? So any kind of evidence that people try to bring forth, it's just, it's not good enough. So I think that's where faith comes into play, which is obviously problematic for atheists.
I mean, like the thing is the evidence that's brought forth, which is why I said I'm fine with Jesus as a historical person existing. Like I'm not a mythicist. Like I just give that to people. Yeah, Jesus existed probably. Yeah, I mean, like I have no problem with that. I have no problem with him preaching. I have no problem getting crucified. It's the magical around them that I have problem with. You feel me? Now, when it comes to faith, just like as you read on my second point, faith is not a actually this is the wrong one. Faith is, I want to say, faith is not a reliable pathway to truth. You can get to the truth by believing something completely on faith, but it's not very reliable because you can believe something on faith and be absolutely incorrect. Like the people who believed in, Hera and Thor, and I'm pretty sure we all don't believe that Thor is the one that makes lightning. You know what I mean? Or that Odin is the one, controlling the sky. We all, no one believes that anymore. But like the Norse people took that completely on faith. You see what I mean? So it's for me, when it comes to faith, it's like a coin flip. You're not really gonna get. It's not a reliable way to actually get to what the truth is. See what I mean?
Yeah, I think. Okay, so I think the problem is. Well, have you heard of John MacArthur?
That name sounds so familiar, but I can't remember what he was.
Yeah, he's a pastor, and he goes on about how we have false prophets who claim to have heard from God because they're like hyper Christian, and they'll say God spoke to me. And he made a very good point. It's not a light that goes off in your mind when it's God or your subconscious talking to you. You don't know. But when you study the word, and every time you are involved in the word, when you actively open your Bible, whatever passage you are reading is what God intended for you to read at that time. And if you do it enough times, you will start noticing that everything around you shifts. All of your perception changes. And if you do it every day, if you dedicate 30 minutes of your day, of your time every day, you will start noticing that God exists. Now, you could argue that that's just yourself, like hyping yourself up. I mean, I don't know what the argument would be, but it's really difficult when someone dedicates 40 plus years of their life and yet they don't fall off of that journey, So, I mean, here's the thing. If you don't do like a Bible study, it's really difficult to kind of understand, because every question in the Bible, almost every question that like needs answering, you will find the answer in another area of the Bible. And so again, this isn't every answer, right? But almost all of them you will, and if you read it enough, you'll start understanding more and more. And I think that is what faith is. Someone was asking, what is faith? That is faith, because you start getting closer and closer to the word, and it starts making more sense to you. And the things that you can't answer, it's not even a big deal, because if we knew all the answers, we would be God.
Here's just two things I would say. The other world religion that we know about. Give me 1 second. Hey, board, how's it going? Hey, y'all, we have about how many people we got in here? We have 22 people in here, 853 likes. Go ahead and keep liking the live, y'all. Get me to at least 2,000. Let's go ahead and keep having a discussion. I did have a guest in the box. I didn't bring you up because I like to do these one-on-one. Let me go ahead and finish off with Savvy first, and then I'll get to another guest in the box if you want to come back up. All right, so the two things I would say about this is that the other major world religion, which is Islam, says the exact same thing. You see what I'm saying? But and it's not the thing is, it's not actually surprising to me that former Muslims become Christians and former Christians become Muslims. That happens all the time. You know what I mean? And you could even look up on YouTube, former Christian debates Muslim, former Muslim debates Christian. You see that all the time. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like what you're saying, they say the exact same thing. I've heard the same exact thing from Muslims, that if you read the Quran, like it's an actual miracle because it's singing and everything like that, and there's science stuff in it and yada yada yada. I've never read the Quran all the way through because it's hard to read and it's kind of boring. But like the problem that's just what I would say with that. If Christianity would be true just because of what you say, that would also make Islam true. You see what I'm saying? Because there are people who, especially when they go to jail, especially from what I've seen from people from my demographic, especially black men, when they go to jail, a lot of them come out Muslim, and a lot of them come out to be some of the best people you ever know in your life. Now, of course, they join the Nation of Islam, which the Nation of Islam has its own problems, but like, I don't doubt the power of like a religious text to save someone, not really save someone, but like change someone's life around, because that's just what religion does. Yeah, I mean, but like, I don't think that that makes the veracity of the claims to be actually true. It's just that a person, just like how you said, you're kind of hyping yourself up. A person wants to change and they cling on to something and it helps them change. I'm not gonna take it away from them, but am I gonna tell them that that makes it true? Nah, not really. See what I mean?
I totally understand. I know you have other guests, so I'll just end with this. So my dad, my biological father, he was in prison for 17 years, and the Bible did not make him a better person, but prison made him a smarter man. And it is astonishing hearing him quote the Bible just from, like, we'll FaceTime and he'll say open a passage and he'll finish whatever verse I'm reading. And the way in which he connects a verse and he'll flip it to another part of the Bible, it's amazing. But I think it's deeper than that when we talk about Christianity, Judaism, Islam, that sort of thing, because Jews believe that there is no hell. It's like a purgatory kind of situation, which would answer a lot of Christians' questions about the idea that God cannot be omnipotent if he already knows the direction in which our life will end and where we will end up. So nonetheless, I think God absolutely exists, whether we have some parts of our Bible correct and other parts of other Bibles correct or incorrect. I don't think it takes away from the fact that we are in a creator's world, universe, and not a Big Bang theory. Because I just want to ask you this. I am not a scientist. I am very ignorant to this, but the Big Bang Theory is pretty popular. A lot of scientists believe it. Some have strayed from it and not for, biblical reasons. But my question is, if you explode something, just take a steel box, we'll say, like a big storage unit, okay? And you put explosives in there and you explode it. What life is going to come out of that?
None, but the thing is, what you need to understand is that the Big Bang is kind of a misnomer, because actually, give me 1 second. The next guest, DJ Be Easy, I do see you in the box. I'm gonna bring you right up after Savvy. When it comes to the Big Bang, it's kind of a misnomer because it implies an explosion, but the Big Bang is really just an expansion of space-time. It's not really like an explosion of material. That's not how that really works. And what we need to understand about the Big Bang is that there is actual evidence behind it, because we do see the universe expanding in all directions. There is, of course, a great attractor, and that's other things. But like when it comes to the Big Bang, it's more than just an explosion of material. It's more just an expansion of space time. And when we look at like elementary particles like electrons and quarks and stuff like that, those are basically the basis of all reality. You can't get smaller than quarks and electrons. They're not made out of anything, like literally. You see what I'm saying? They're the base of all reality. And when we look at like quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is what affects physics, and physics is what acts on chemistry, and chemistry is what acts on biology. It's like a step of a ladder up. You see what I'm saying? So all this is way more complicated than just an explosion that happened billions and billions of years ago. Now, I didn't explain it very well. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a scientist or a physicist that told me that I butchered all of this. But like, there is a YouTube channel called Professor Dave, and there's a TikTok channel on TikTok called Dr. Blitz. they can explain this way better than I can, because Professor Dave is a chemist and Dr. Blitz is a physicist. He can explain this way better than I can. But the thing that I can clear up is that the Big Bang is not just an explosion. It's just an expansion of space-time and all the materials that we have today. That doesn't mean that it was the beginning of time itself, or even the beginning of matter itself. For a lot of physicists actually think that time and matter are eternal. They just, convert in different ways. But other than that, it's not just an explosion that made life. It's a lot more complicated than that.
So obviously we could talk about this forever, and, so we obviously don't have time to do that. What I will say is I would implore you to spend 1 week, rather than trying to disprove God, try to prove him. And rather than looking at things to disprove why he doesn't exist because of quantum mechanics and physics and the electrons and the atoms, do the opposite and see where that takes you.
I actually have. That's how I ended up here. Yeah. So it is that. But Sabby, I do appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and get to the next guest.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
You have a great night. All right.
You too. Bye.
All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the next guest. Before I do that, DJ Be Easy, I'm going to bring you up next. All right. Before I do that, y'all, we have 1.6K likes, 14 people in here. We started off with like 200 and something. Where everybody went? Everybody just decided to go. You know what I mean? But shout out to Board Agnostic. I'm glad that you're here. Coco Magida, Coco, I do appreciate you being here. I do appreciate the gifts. I'm gonna go ahead and pull a goal up for my goal up in a little bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring DJ Be Easy up. I'm not gonna be here long, y'all. I'm probably gonna be here for maybe an hour and a half, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end it. But DJ, I'm gonna bring you up next, all right? All right, DJ. All right, there he is. DJ, you there?
My man.
How's it going? How's it going, man?
My man, we can't complain. We everything is working.
Everything is everything.
So I'm not on here to change your views. I respect them. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something when it comes to this, people want to argue. It's not something to argue because it's every man's opinion and everybody has to find their own pathway. But I want to propose a question.
Sure.
So we would say, would it be fair to say that on the 11th day, the 11th month, 14th day, 2024, would it be fair to say that Volcy exists?
Yes, it would be fair to say that.
So let's just say 200 years from now, you ain't going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Does that change the fact that you existed?
No.
So I could make a claim if somebody said and would start talking about you,
mm-hmm.
I could make the claim that you weren't real.
You can.
But I see for myself right now that we're having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, from my standpoint, I can say Volcy was a real being because I can see him right now.
Mm-hmm.
But 200 years from now, somebody could make the claim that you never existed.
Right. The thing is, it'll be very, very difficult for them to make that claim because I'm going to leave behind evidence that I did exist. My gravestone.
You could, right? Or
mm-hmm.
we could account for, we might not account for things like natural disaster,
mm-hmm.
different things that might transpire in that time. But the whole thing is, we know without a doubt, because I'm talking to you, there's nothing that can take away the fact that you existed, whether or not someone 200 or 300 years from now tries to disprove the fact that you were here.
Mhm.
I can't do it because you're here. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to you. So at that point, all someone could do is try to probably think about ways that maybe, you know, you weren't here, but I know for a fact you were. You know what I'm saying? Because I see you. But
Correct.
that's a lot different than somebody 200, 300 years from now when we're both gone. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make a claim that, you know what? Volcy was once on a line talking to DJ Be Easy, and they was having a conversation, and somebody could try to disprove it. But I know it's true because it's happening right now, but people 300 years from now ain't gonna really know. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna know that.
Right, correct. I mean, like the people 200, 300 years from now probably won't know who I am or who you are unless either of us become famous. People 200 years from now are gonna know Michael Jackson. They're probably not gonna know me because I'm not as famous as Michael Jackson. Just like 200 years ago, just like 200 years from now, 200 years ago, we know about Mozart. You know what I'm saying? Too, Mozart lived 200 years ago, and we know about him. So 200 years from now, people will know about Michael Jackson because of how famous he was. They're probably not gonna know who me and you are. But if they're gonna say that like someone like Michael Jackson never existed, they're gonna have a very hard time because there's gonna be records that he existed. And if they're gonna say that someone like Mozart never existed, they're gonna have a hard time because there's records that Mozart existed. Same thing with Obama, same thing with Kamala, same thing with who else? Clinton, same thing with Jean-Jacques Dessalines. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have a very hard time saying those people didn't exist because there's records of those people. They're famous. Me and you, besides our family and our community and people that we're close to, no one's going to give a shit that we existed 200 years from now.
Would it be fair, like if we're taking the famous people, right? And still, would you say it would still be my belief? Because I could still say, oh, they weren't real. So no matter like what evidence you brought to me, you know what I'm saying? It would still take me to believe that that's Michael Jackson, because I would basically be believing something that either you presented to me, you know, or else I could still take the position, oh, that ain't him. Nah, that's somebody else.
You can take that position, but then that would probably be illogical. If I can show you because there's videos of him, there's dental records, there's medical records, there's court cases, there's documents from other people around Michael Jackson. There are a lot of things to show that Michael Jackson actually existed. If you're going to say that that's not Michael Jackson, that was Joe Biden, you're gonna it's someone 200 years from now making that claim is gonna have a very they're gonna look very, very, very illogical doing that, because that's just ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, yeah, sure, someone can do that, but at that point you're being illogical. If there's records of this person who looks this way is Michael Jackson, and there's contemporaries around that person saying this is Michael Jackson, and there's dental records of Michael Jackson and a tombstone of Michael Jackson, and they're still saying that's not Michael Jackson, that's Joe Biden, they're just being illogical at that point.
So do you think, in your opinion, right, because it would be opinion based, right? Do you think it would still boil down to my belief whether or not you telling me that that's who that was? If I myself had no recollection of who this individual was, I would still have to trust. It would still take me some form of trust or my willingness to believe that, you know what Volcy's telling me about Michael Jackson is true. And then I would still have to go and do my own research and try to come up with a conclusion whether or not you're telling me the truth or not. But if I simply said, nah, that ain't it, but I really didn't do like a real intense like study to really, you know what I'm saying, it would still be my belief. Would you say that would be an accurate statement?
The thing is, at a certain point, I would say that it's not just your belief. You're just wrong. You see what I'm saying? Like it's because we do have to get to a certain point where we just can't keep placating someone being illogical. Like it's not your belief anymore. You're just wrong. You see what I'm saying? Like if I'm showing if I were to present you with, you know, irrefutable evidence that this person is the person that I said that they were, and you're simply saying that, oh, I just don't believe that, you're not, it's not a belief at that point. You're just wrong.
So I got a question. I mean, this is another just a thought process for you. Okay. Do you believe that you have a spirit?
No.
You don't believe you have a spirit?
No.
Do you believe you have a soul?
No.
No. So then at the end of the day, the question would be, what do you think you are?
Human.
What is human?
Human is a human is a member of the species Homo sapien.
So I got a question then. Do you think ghosts are real?
No.
No, ghosts are not real.
No, I don't believe they're real.
You don't believe they're real. So then again, right? I could never take away the fact of what you feel is your truth. The only thing that each of us could ever do is try to research it to figure out our own situation, right? That's why something like this, it ain't really something that you could argue about, because it's basically based on someone's own truth and their willingness to figure out whatever it is. That's why I started with, can you take away the fact 300 years from now that Volcy existed? I could argue and say, nah, he wasn't real. But at the end of the day, I can't make that claim, because I see you, like you existed, you know what I'm saying? Even 1,000 years from now, 2,000 years from now, that's not going to change the fact that you exist right now. Now,
Yeah.
someone 2,000 years from now can make the claim, nah, he wasn't real.
Right. I mean, in 2,000 years from now, I doubt people are even going to know that Mozart was real. But like at the end of the day, we're going to leave evidence behind that we existed. So again, they're going to have an extremely hard time saying that I never did, because if records stay the same, unless, you know, a nuclear war happens between now and then where civilization completely starts over from zero and they have no idea what was before that nuclear war, then yeah, at that point, they're not going to know anyone's going to exist. But just like I said, like, I'm not famous, you know what I'm saying? Unless I get as big as, no one's going to care that I existed or not. So yeah, sure, 2,000 years from now, if we take a more famous person like Barack Obama, if everything stays the same, and you know there's no nuclear explosion, no nuclear war that, you know, resets society back to zero, if that doesn't happen, you know what I mean, then there's no way someone 1,000 years from now can deny that Barack Obama was a real person. Just like right now, we can't deny that, you know, King Tut was a real person. We literally have his body. You see what I'm saying? So it's that type of claim just wouldn't be logical at that point. I wouldn't say that is just that person's belief. They're just wrong.
So going back to your first check, right? Just if we just look at it, and I know you got some other people, but I'm enjoying this space, man.
No, good. You can keep going.
If I look at, there is no good reason to believe in God, right?
Mhm.
I'm believing that it isn't, because obviously I'm doing something, you know what I mean? I can't, if I'm believing that it is not, then I believe that it is not. So no matter where you go, I'm believing. I just okay, you ready? Go with me. Go with me. So our first point says there is no good reason to believe in God.
Mhm.
Well, I'm believing that there is not. So no matter how you look at it, I'm still believing, because my belief is in that it is not that it is. But no matter how you look at it, I'm still believing, because I'm believing that there is not that there is.
Wait, so okay, so you're saying that my statement, there is no good reason to believe in a God, is in of itself a belief statement?
Correct.
Yeah, sure.
You see what I'm saying? Because, and then that's where I hit on that. That would be basically every human's preference or opinion, because I'm still, again, no other way you look at it, I'm believing in the fact that it isn't.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So no matter how you look at it, it's just like simply with, okay, 200 years from now, Volcy, that wasn't a real human. That wasn't a real human. But I know they can't take it away. Again, they can't take it away. The fact that I know without a doubt, tangible, I can see you. So I'm more prone to know 100% that you existed based on the fact that I saw you.
right, correct. The thing is though, if there were no birth records of a person named Volcy, if there was no DNA records of a person named Volcy, if there were no military records of a person named Volcy, if there were absolutely basically nothing that I left behind, a person would have a good reason to say that this person most likely did not exist. You see what I'm saying? Because like we do the same thing for like King Arthur. King Arthur didn't leave any of those things behind, and he has no contemporary sources. And from what we read about King Arthur, at the time he's supposed to exist, there was no king named Arthur around that time. You see what I'm saying? So like people can now say that King Arthur was likely a legendary figure. You feel what I'm saying? So it's when we say that, and when I say there's no good reason to believe in a God, it's because no good reason has been brought forth to me yet.
Okay.
If you give me a good reason, then give me a good reason.
So I would say, right, for sometimes in certain situations, sometimes another human being can't show you, he has to. So because if I'm already like, when we become adults, we're kind of set in our ways a little bit, like our discipline, our structure, how we do things. And sometimes it becomes very difficult for me to bend from what I feel like is my own convictions or whatnot. So sometimes, and even for a man, it's even harder to be like, okay, I'm gonna give you a real example. Okay, I've been married 15 years. Sometimes I'm wrong. Like I could talk to my wife, and sometimes I'm wrong, but I have a hard time admitting it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take a whole lot of courage and structure for me to be like, I'm sorry. I know that's something I got to work on as a man. That doesn't take away the fact that I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? That just takes that just is boiling down to what my belief is about whatever's happening in that present time. That's why it's really every man for himself. And the only thing that we can do is, again, same thing. We got to research for ourselves, because no matter sometimes what anybody says, I got to know for myself. So no matter what, we got to know for ourselves, right? And I'm gonna take the position. I'm gonna say for myself, and I'm almost 50. Okay, like to me, everything is my belief system. Everything is your belief system, and whatever it is you think it is. But that's why I'm gonna leave with, because I enjoy this. I could do this all day. Is the fact that 300 years from now, I'm gonna stay here. They can argue the claim that me and you did not exist. We don't exist, but for it is an sure fact that we have, whether or not they saw us or not, we were here.
Yeah, sure.
And so you can't argue. Nobody can argue the fact that say, "Oh, Aaron wasn't here." You know what I'm saying? He wasn't here. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I was here. So whether a person chooses to believe whether or not I existed or I did not.
Mhm.
That's a personal preference. You know what I'm saying? And only thing you can do to really figure out if I really existed is do enough research to be like, you know what? I figured it out. He was here. He
Yeah,
was
sure.
here.
And you see that's what I mean when it comes to existing or not existing. There's going to be evidence that we leave behind. You see, there's going to be some sort of evidence that we leave behind, like even for legendary figures, even if like if it's the even if they don't have contemporary evidence, there is secondary sources like archaeological sources, etc. There's going to be something left behind that the person actually existed. But if there's no such thing as those, if those don't exist, then you can say that this person likely didn't exist. You see what I'm saying? Like same thing how we do for Sherlock Holmes, King Arthur, Johnny Appleseed, people like that. You see what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to like the Jesus of Nazareth, I have no problem saying that he did exist, because I think New Testament scholars would say that there is some secondary hand sources that Jesus did exist. Like James, the brother of Jesus, actually met Paul, and Paul was a real person. You know what I mean? Like there's no reason for Paul to lie about him meeting James, the brother of Jesus. So if Paul actually met James, the brother of Jesus, and this is James, the brother of Jesus, was an actual person, then Jesus was probably a real person as well. I have no issue with Jesus actually existing. The issue around Jesus is, did the magical properties and powers that he had that the Bible claims, was those actually real? That's the more the argument, not if Jesus himself was real. Jesus himself probably was real.
So if you because you know the word, man, you ain't no dummy. I could just tell by your conversation, like you study, right? So if you look at John 1, it says, in the beginning was the word, right?
Right? Teacup. I think he got a call, y'all. While he's doing that, y'all go ahead and keep liking up the live and keep sharing it, y'all. Please keep liking up the live and keep sharing it. We got 8 people in here. I'm guessing they all didn't want to stay, but we got 8 people in here. Keep liking up the live. We got 2.2k likes. Go ahead and keep liking up the live. If you disagree with me on anything, go ahead and request up, and we can go ahead and talk about it. Be easy. Go ahead and keep going. What you were saying?
No, I'm gonna give somebody else, Volcy. I know you. I don't know if you got somebody else that want to tap in, man.
Not yet. So you can go ahead and finish off. We got about 5 minutes left, so you can go ahead and finish off. He's in teacup. I think he's getting a lot of calls tonight, y'all. He might be getting a lot of calls. But like I was saying, y'all, please keep liking the live. Please keep sharing it. Encourage people to come up here. We got 8 folks up here, 2.2k likes. Be easy. Are you getting calls? You need to go ahead and run.
I can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I apologize, man. I coach college football too, so I apologize. My guys are tapping in.
Take care of your guys, man. Take care of your guys. Not a problem.
But I just want you to think about, and I asked this question yesterday, what was the word? So in the beginning was the word. So when you think about the word, and in the Greek or Hebrew, you're gonna get logos. So then you got to look at logos, and then you have to think about, what was the word? It was the intellect, the reason, the mind, right? And so if in the beginning was the word, and the word was God, and the word
with God, and the word was God. Yeah.
come on.
John 1:1.
Yeah, John 1:1, right? So then it becomes, which a lot of people have a hard time doing, is what we have to do is figure out how to rightly divide the word of God. You know what I'm saying? We have to write, because what a lot of people like to do is just take bits and pieces out of it and make it say what they want it to say. But the interpretation of learning how to rightly divide that word is a completely different situation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a you know what, man, I'm gonna leave you with that. I'm gonna leave you with that. I appreciate you you tapping in with me. This has been very, very it's been a blessing, and I hope that, you know,
I,
you
I know.
find whatever you seeking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you're saying because I've heard it before. No offense, but yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. But I do appreciate you being here, Easy, and you have a great night. All right, tap in
You
again.
too.
All right. All right, you guys. Like I said, I do appreciate everybody who's here. We got 2.7K likes. Keep liking up the live. Keep sharing it. I want to go ahead and get some more people in here. I want to have some good discussions, and we can maybe get some good debates. The last two guests were not very heated, but that's all right. I like have those discussions as well. If you disagree with anything that I have up on the page, go ahead and request up, and we can go ahead and talk some more, y'all. Bird is the word. Bird is the word. But yeah, it's been a few since I went live. It's been about 2 weeks. I had some life changes that needed my attention. But I'm gonna go ahead and start going live again. Tonight is about atheism. Right now, Joyful Apostate is also live right now. And once I'm done here, I'm gonna go ahead and join him. I'm gonna go ahead and join Joyful Apostate. So yeah, make sure to follow me there. I'm gonna follow him there, and we're gonna go ahead and speak on Joyful Apostates live. Shout out to Sandra's board. She's in the chat. Shout out to Israel. He's in the chat as well. Shout out to Board Agnostic in the chat. Follow them as well, y'all. Shout out to Coco Magenta. She's in the chat as well. Go ahead and follow those people. They're very good people. Do some great work as well. We're gonna be at about 3,000 likes, y'all. I'm gonna be here for only a few more minutes to see if we get any more guests. If we don't get any more guests, and I'll say the next probably like 5 to 10 minutes, I'll go ahead and end it there, and that'll be it for the night. And I'll go over to Joyful Apostates live, and we'll enjoy our time over there. I've been hearing that it's been kind of slow. It's been kind of slow for the past few days. On Board Agnostics live the other day, it was pretty fun on Board Agnostics live the other day because she had some very interesting guests. Agnostic had some very interesting guests the other day. If y'all were on Board Agnostics live yesterday, it's always fun on her lives. Yeah, if you're coming in right now, welcome into the live. Go ahead and like it. Go ahead and share it. If you would like to come up and discuss this with me, go ahead and please come on up. I like discussions with anybody. And I appreciate all the likes, y'all. I appreciate all the likes. It really helps me, really helps us in the algo to get us some ops. It really helps in the algo to get us some hops. So I really appreciate all the likes, y'all. It seems, at least on this part of TikTok, a lot of Christians are either ran away or don't want to be part of this part of TikTok anymore. They rather stay on their part. You know what I mean? And that might be because they weren't ready for us to actually be prepared. But I've been on the debate side of Christian TikTok, and it's it's not good. It's really not good. You don't really get a word in. You don't really discuss anything. You don't really get to answer any questions. Like it's just not good. Y'all, we had 3.6K likes, y'all. We had 3.6K likes. We had 3.6K likes. So let's just go ahead and keep liking up the live and keep sharing it. Shout out to everybody that got watching me on YouTube. You guys are wonderful. I might switch up my background. I might switch up my background just for the kicks. Let's see if what happens if I switch up my background. Give me a second, yo. I'm gonna switch this up real quick. All right, y'all. New topic. New topic, y'all. Brand new topic. So let's see how many people we get with this one, because I'm sure someone slides in and they see this, they're not gonna like it. Again, shout out to everybody who's in here. Shout out to y'all for liking up the live. We're at 4K now. We have 4K likes right now. Share this out to people. Share this out to people. Let's make sure that folks see it and we can get some opposition in here, and hopefully we get people to talk. If you are just joining, you see the topic of the live. I think I have better morals than Yahweh. If I don't have better morals than Yahweh, come up and tell me why not. I see a few folks sliding in. Don't just chat in the comments. Don't just, come in and dip out. 4.2K likes with only 8 folks in here is wonderful, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all very much. Shout out to Sandra, y'all. Shout out to Sandra's board. Yeah, let's share this live out to everybody. Yeah, hit them likes, hit them shares. Let's get us up to let's get us to 5K before I end it off for the night, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna get any more guests. Not sure we're gonna get any more guests, but let's go ahead and get us up to 5K before I end it up for the night. And I appreciate everyone who slid in, everybody who's out there. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it, y'all. Shout out to Sandra. Shout out to Israel for sharing the live and liking it. Yeah, keeping it alive, y'all. Keeping it alive. I hope this gets to someone's FYP, because I was able to get to the FYP before, but it's been a little difficult, man. It's been a little slow. I'm not sure if y'all noticed it as well. Sandra, have you noticed it? You noticed it's been a bit slow? Because even on Justice Live the other day, it was a bit slow. And yeah, I think I'm gonna do that, Israel. I think I'm gonna do a restart. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, y'all. This is what I'm gonna do. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do a restart real quick, and we're gonna go ahead and get people back in. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do a restart. Y'all stick with me. Stickers, I do appreciate you being here. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and restart. All right, shout out to the folks watching me on YouTube. What's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? Go ahead and slide in. Go ahead and slide in. Y'all see the topic of discussion? Y'all see the topic of discussion right up. Go ahead and like up the live. Go ahead and like up the live. Let's go ahead and start sharing. Let's go ahead and start sharing, start liking up the live, y'all. Y'all see the topic of discussion? I know y'all see the topic of discussion. So if you disagree with me, go ahead and come on up. Shout out to Israel for already liking up the live. Shout out to the folks who's in here sliding in. Y'all go ahead and start sliding in. Let's go ahead and start talking. Let's go ahead and start having this conversation. There it is. There's everybody. There's everybody. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. We got Peter Griffin. All right, y'all. Everybody who's joining in, Larry, what's up? William R, what's up? Israel, shout out to you for liking the live. Kimberly, what's up? El Conquistador, Denise, Lady Oma, Rob, all y'all. Shout out to all y'all. Shout out to all y'all for coming in. Shout out to all y'all for coming in. Go ahead and like the live. If y'all disagree with my topic, go ahead and request ups and let's talk about it. All right. I think I have better morals than Yahweh. Yahweh being the God of the Bible. I have way better morals than Yahweh, the God of the Bible. If you disagree with me, go ahead and request, and we could go ahead and talk about it. We got 93 folks in here. We got 423 likes. We got 100 people in here, about 400 likes. Shout out to all the people who's liking. Shout out to all the people who's sliding in right now. If you disagree with this, with my topic, go ahead and let me know why. Go ahead and let me know why if you disagree with my topic, y'all. Shout out to y'all. Join up and let's talk about it. That is that's looking better right now, man. That's looking better already. We almost at 1,000. We almost at 1,000 likes. We got about 300 people in here. I know everybody don't agree with me. I know not all y'all agree with me. So I am looking for discussion. I am looking for debate. Y'all go ahead and come on up, man. I'm looking for discussion and debate. If you like this, shout out to William for liking the live. Shout out to William for liking the live. Shout out to you, William. Appreciate you. We have 1.1K likes. We got 340 people in here. I know not all 340 y'all agree with me now. I know not all 340 y'all agree with me now. So y'all come on up. Y'all don't forget to share the live too. What Heat Wade? Dwayne Wade is actually one of my favorite ball players. So shout out to you. Matthew, you have to request. Go ahead and request, Matthew. I don't see a way to add you up yet. So go ahead and request, Matthew. Alex Alpha, I do 100% disagree. Not disagree. I do 100% agree with you. My gerbil has more morals than Yahweh. Oh, my gerbil has more moral than Yahweh. All right, Matthew, I'm gonna see if I can invite you. Let's see. All right, Matthew, I sent you an invitation. If you don't get the invitation, that means that TikTok doesn't want to let you up for some reason. No, I'm not Gnostic. I am not a Gnostic. Actually, when you say Gnostic, are you talking about the Christian Gnostics, the one who believe that the God of the Old Testament is evil and the God of the New Testament is a different one? Is that what you mean, Anthony? Because I have heard of them. It's a very interesting philosophy, but it seems kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not that. I'm an atheist. The Gnostic tradition seems kind of ridiculous to me because Jesus himself worshipped the God of the Old Testament. So it's really weird. Preachy monologues. I don't know, man. Like I don't think I have the voice for preaching. To tell you the truth, I probably got the voice for radio, but I don't think I have a voice for having a preachy monologue. It's and I don't like to preach. Yeah. Oh wait. I just see what you did there. I just see what you did there. All right, Joey, do you want to come up and talk to me about it? I'm gonna send you a request to come up if I can invite you. Let's see. All right, Joey, Mike, I sent you an invitation. If you don't get the invitation, that means TikTok doesn't like you. Nah, Yahweh isn't my God. Yahweh is not my God. My God is Shango. My God is Urzuli. Hey, Joey,
Hi,
how's it going? Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
I am 72 years old.
Awesome. All right, so I think I have better morals than Yahweh. Do you disagree with me?
Excuse me?
I believe that I have better morals than the God of the Bible. Do you disagree with me?
No, I believe that everyone that believes in something, that is that is up to them, really. I don't discriminate against anyone what they believe in.
Cool. That's awesome. Me neither. But do you agree with me or disagree with me that I have better morals than the God of the Bible?
Well, if that's what you believe, then I agree with you.
Wow, you must get along with everybody then.
Basically, I do. I have my share of life, so I don't discriminate. I don't like talking bad about anyone. And I do believe that whoever you believe in, that is up to you.
All right, cool. W Joey. You have a great night, all right, Joey?
You too. May God be with you.
All right, y'all. So I actually am kind of looking for discussion and debate. I don't want anyone who just agrees with me. I want to go ahead and actually discuss on disagreements that we may have. So yeah, I think I have better morals than Yahweh. And if you disagree with me, go ahead and come on up and we can go and have a discussion. I see Mr. Eni in the chat. Oh, I'm sorry, Renee. I do apologize for that, Renee. Renee, why don't you request and come on up and we can go and have a discussion about it? Because you're saying that Yahweh is my God, and you said that it was sad that Midnight Rider said that Jesus is made up. So it seems like you would disagree with me. So Renee, go ahead and request and we can go ahead and have a discussion if you would like to. One thing about me, y'all, that y'all gonna learn really, really quickly is that I don't like chatting to the comments. I hate that. I don't like chatting to the comments. If you actually have a disagreement, request and come on up. If you can't come up because of TikTok rules, then I just can't help that. If TikTok gets banned within the next year, then we'll all go to Bigo Live, and Bigo Live allows anybody to come up. So all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to bring up Renee. Renee, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. Are you over the age of 18?
I am.
Awesome. All right. So I believe that I have better morals than Yahweh, the God of the Bible, and I believe the Quran as well. Do you disagree with me?
Sure, I do.
All
And
right,
tell me
great.
why you think you have better morals. Just curious.
Because he demanded or condoned all of these things: rape, slavery, genocide, and needless suffering.
Okay. So you're going back to the First Testament, correct?
That is correct.
Right. So what happened after the First Testament? After all
Bo-
these things were hold on. All these were put in place. What did he do in our image?
a bunch of boring stuff.
No, it's not boring stuff. I'm asking you. You said you have better morals. So What did
Yes,
he do to put in our image? I mean, what happened if you know so well? I'm just
Oh,
asking. I'm not trying to get smart. I'm just asking.
No, no problem. What happened is that he sent himself, which is what his son, to suffer and die on a torture machine of the ancient Romans for our sins, which is still immoral because no one else should have to suffer for somebody else.
Okay, but so you can put it that way, but was there a reason why his son suffered and for us? I mean, what's the reason why?
There wasn't any. He could just forgave us and didn't.
There is a reason why. We're doing it right now. We're doing it
What?
right now. Look around you in the world today. Tell me if you ain't got, you said you believe in the Quran, correct?
I don't believe in the Quran. I think they're both
I
ridiculous.
thought that's what you just said when I came up.
Oh no, I said I think I have better morals than Yahweh, who's the God of the Bible, and I believe the Quran.
You believe the Quran.
No. What I'm trying to say is that I think that the God of the Bible is also the God of the Quran, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I should have said.
Oh, so you think the Quran is the God? Okay, so even the
No,
Quran,
I don't think.
what is the Quran?
No, I don't think the God of the Quran is correct. I'm saying that Yahweh is both the God of the Bible and the Quran, but I'm not sure about the Quran one because I could be incorrect about that. A historian could correct me if I'm mistaken. But I think Yahweh is the God of the Torah, the Bible, and the Quran.
So you do believe there's a Yahweh?
No, this is just an eternal critique. I think Yahweh's fictional.
You think he's fictional? So you don't think
Mhm.
there is no God?
No, I don't believe in a God.
Oh, so you're atheist.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we can get on the right track. So atheist, I would say, so that's why you're sitting here saying that you think you have more morals because you refuse to believe there is a God, correct?
No, I don't refuse to believe. I just have no evidence, so I don't believe it. Like the same reason that I'm pretty sure you don't believe in Santa Claus is the same reason I don't believe in Yahweh.
Well, Santa Claus was a man made up, right? I can give you, listen, I'm not a holy roller. I don't go to church, but I 100% believe there's a God. Everyday life tells me there's a God, right? We close our eyes. When we close our eyes, we're out of here. I'm talking about for good. What do you think, that we just lay there? We're gone. That's it. We go to dust and nothing more.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep. Because
That's pretty.
there's never been any evidence after that. And a lot of I know that you may say that sounds pretty dark and depressing and pretty sad, but not to me. To me, that means that life is even more precious because we only get one.
Well, you only get one life here.
Yeah, we only get one life here. There's no eternity. There's no paradise after. That means that we have to make our paradise and our eternity now.
Oh, did you ever, you know, a lot of people say, you know, God wouldn't, if there's a God, they wouldn't let people suffer, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. God didn't make up diseases. Okay. 100%. He did not make up diseases. He didn't make up people to be evil and go murder. We chose to do that. We have a mind to choose, just like you're choosing not to believe. No matter what, you're not going to believe, right?
Well, that's not how belief works. But belief isn't really a choice. You either convinced or you're not. And I will also say that if God is all knowing and all powerful, he did make all the diseases. I mean, didn't he say that he created evil? What verse is that? Isaiah 14, I think. Can the chat remind me what verse was it when God said he created evil? I think that was like a Isaiah.
Do you know it also
14 something.
says that this world is not of God anymore. It's not.
So
What does
this
it say
world,
about the world? Right?
I don't think that actually matters. God's the one who made it, at least according to this scripture.
Well, you make a child, you can make a child. If that child turns out evil, that doesn't mean that you didn't make it, that you're not the creator of it.
I'm not all knowing.
Yeah, You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you can't deny something just because you created a child, you and your wife. I'm just throwing that out there. If that child turns out to be a bad kid, that doesn't mean that you taught it to be bad. He
I'm
chose
also,
to go that way.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that that's true. I do think that the way that kids turns out is largely on the parents. However, the thing is, though, I'm not all knowing. I'm not all powerful. According to this claim from
You
the
are to
scripture,
your child. You are to your child.
I am to my
You are in charge of teaching that child, correct? You
right.
are in
I might be.
charge.
Let me finish, Renee. I might be in charge of teaching my child, and to my child, I might be the smartest person in the world. But the fact of the matter is that I'm not. But according to the scripture, God is the most all powerful and all knowing. You know, past, present, future, and always. I don't have that type of power.
So that was my point I was trying to get to. So we are supposed to be his children, right?
Yeah, of course.
According
But
to the Bible, right? We are
right.
supposed to be all God's children. So God, if you know the word of God and you're denying it, you're choosing to do that. It's not that he's not real. You are putting that in your head to choose to do that. You make a child, you and your wife, it turns out to do something bad. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to deny that child?
I'm not gonna deny. Well, it depends on what they did. But like the thing is, like what I'm trying to say is that
you just said it.
what
You
what I'm
just
trying
said that.
what I'm trying to convey to you is that the way that you're talking about belief is not the way belief actually works. I'm either convinced of something or I'm not. I can't choose to believe in something. And when it comes to this, I am not. I am unconvinced.
Well, where do you think we came from?
We came from our parents. Our parents had sex. They had us.
No, I'm talking about where the first human beings came from. Where?
We evolved.
We evolved from what?
We evolved from early prior organisms.
Where did the early pregnant, whatever you just said, where'd they come from?
Early prior organisms, like we did, and it keeps going back and back and back to the first single cell organism.
You truly believe that?
Yes,
Yeah,
because
we
there's
are all
evidence.
born. We are all born with the same thing. That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
I'm sorry. Say that one more time, please.
I said we're all born with the same parts, everything, right? A woman comes out, a man comes out.
Yep.
You know, think about, we got a heart, we got ribs, we got everything. So
and some
you're
people
telling
are
me that we evolved from that, and it's a daily basis that children
yes.
are born that way?
Yes, you realize that there are people who are born like with ribs missing, with hearts, with their hearts outside of their chests, et cetera, et cetera. There are babies born with cancer, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. So where did
Right.
that come from?
So that's needless suffering. According to
no, you're pointing up there saying that. Where did it come from? If he's not real, where did that come from?
oh that just we just
The
evolved that way.
cancer and all that stuff. Where did that come from?
Well, that just evolved on this planet. That is how this planet is.
So your belief that it's evolved, but just because you guys want to go against God, you want to put it on God, but yet there is no God in your mind.
No, what I'm doing
do you
is called
understand your logic here? You
no.
guys
What I'm doing,
say,
what I'm doing, Renee, is something called an internal critique. You understand what I mean by internal critique?
no, you're gonna have to explain that.
What I mean by internal critique is that I'm not saying that these things have to automatically be real. What I'm doing is that I'm looking at the story and the characters of the story and critiquing what the actions and everything of what these characters do. So essentially, if we're under the operation of, if we're saying for the sake of argument that this God is supposed to exist, how can we analyze the actions and the philosophy and everything like that of this God, etc.? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Like, for example, in the Harry Potter series, there are people who write entire essays on Harry Potter, the Ron Weasley, Lord Voldemort, but those people aren't actually real. You see what I'm saying? So that's what an internal critique is. We're just kind of critiquing the characters, essentially. Does that make sense?
Sure. Let me ask you a question. So you think way back in time when the Bible was written, all these people were just making up a fiction person, okay, and rolling with it as time goes on. But yet, on the other hand, you got a Quran Bible. So those people said, well, hey, if they can do that, we're going to do it. And they're going to move in time to the future and tell us what's about. So let me ask you a quick question. This is kind of interesting to me. All these crazy people per se that were writing the Bible, why hasn't anybody picked it up and finished the ending in a different way? Right? Let's just add to it. Let's just keep going. Why do
They
you
did do
think
that.
it stopped? Huh?
They did do that.
They did do
You
it.
ever
It
read?
stopped. Do you know that there is still evidence of them saying that the world ended by water, right?
No, there's no evidence
Wasn't
of
the
that.
Bible? Huh?
There's no evidence of that.
There is evidence. There's all kinds of evidence of that. Scientists are out there finding it.
No, they haven't.
Still to this day.
No, they haven't. Let me first let me say
Why
let me
don't
say
you
two
look it
things.
up? You got a computer right there.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead,
have. That's why I
search
can.
it.
That's what that I have. That's why I can say no, they haven't. Let me
Oh,
say
I
two
have
things first.
too.
Okay, let me say two things. Now, number one, when it comes to why didn't nobody continue the Bible? People have. You ever heard of Mormonism? That's what they did. They continued the Bible. But when it comes to Noah's flood, there's no evidence of that at all. Like for example, would you explain how penguins got from Antarctica to Mount Ararat all the way back to Antarctica?
I'm sorry, you lost me at what? Penguins?
When it comes to Noah's Ark, what it claims is that there was two of every animal on the planet on the Ark. So how did penguins get from Antarctica to Mount Ararat in Turkey all the way back to Antarctica?
I don't have the answer to that. I have no clue. No
Right.
clue.
It didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen. There's also
I haven't read up on no penguins. I don't know about that.
right. There's also an issue of where the water came from and where it all went afterwards.
I can tell you this. My nephew is atheist, same as you. Okay.
Mhm.
We've had many, many discussions. Okay. And there is scientific facts. I mean, he actually looked it up, a few things, but he argues the point just like you do. The key part of this is me and you, we can sit here and argue about it, disagree on things. We don't know. When we close our eyes, so that's why I said, tread carefully. We don't know. You can
Yeah,
do
sure. I
your
can say
live, you can say what you want, but I'm telling you, I would. We're gonna go out the same way. We're closing our eyes. We don't know what's after that. That's all I'm saying. We don't know. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but just like you probably don't think you are. But I would be careful on what I throw out there, not knowing is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So
I
I
mean,
appreciate you having me up here, though. I do. And you're really cool. I think you got a cool life here, but I'm just telling you, as far as a human to human, we don't know what's beyond this.
right. I do agree with that. We don't know what's beyond this, and I don't think we should pretend that we do. So
exactly. All right, baby.
that's what
You
I would
take
say.
care.
All right, you take care. You guys have a good night. All right, y'all. W Renee in the chat. I do appreciate any guest that comes up. All right, y'all. We had 4,000 likes, 8 people in here. If you disagree with me and you would like to go ahead and come on up and discuss things with me, go ahead and come on up and we could discuss things. All right. I appreciate everybody being here. I do appreciate all the likes. Go ahead and help me get to my goal, y'all. Subscribe to me if you so please. I'll appreciate any subscriptions, y'all. It's only $2.99. It is only $2.99. I'll appreciate any subscriptions, y'all. I'm not gonna be here for long. I probably would get a lot more people in here if I were to stream. If I were to stream for a few more hours, but I don't like streaming for hours. I got a girlfriend, so I don't like streaming for hours. After a couple of hours, I gotta go be with her. You feel me? All right, y'all. So I do appreciate all the likes, and I do appreciate the 5 people who are in here, who are liking up the live, who are sharing it. Topic of tonight: I have better morals than Yahweh. If you think I do not have better morals than Yahweh, come on up and we can talk about it. With the last guest, we didn't get to the Bible verses, which shows that my morality is far superior to Yahweh's morality. And I think all of your moralities is superior to their morality. Shout out to Sandra, y'all. Shout out to Algorithm Summon Me. Algo was good, bro. Hey, y'all. Daddy Satan is in the house. We got Daddy Satan in the house. I do appreciate all the likes, y'all. I do really appreciate it. After this live, we're gonna go ahead and join up with Joyful Apostate. He's on live right now, which is probably why it's slow for me. Hopefully, I get more people in here, and I am gonna go live again tomorrow night. I think I'll go live again tomorrow night, and we'll see about Saturday as well. We'll go live again tomorrow night, and we'll see about Saturday because I definitely like to do these. What's good with everybody tonight, man? I hope y'all doing good. I hope y'all doing well. After I end off things here, once again, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and join Joyful Apostate. And shout out to everybody who's joining right now. I think if I had done a political live, more people would have joined because we just fresh off election. So these politics lives are gonna start popping off really quick up until election time. Religious lives are kind of slow right now, in my opinion, because everybody's worried more about politics than they are worried about discussing religion. The one that still has an active live is Ian. I think Ian always gets people on his lives, but even Justin the other day was a bit slow. And there were a few people who were slow the other day. All right, y'all. Looks like we're back down to 3 people. So I might go ahead and end this one here, and I'm gonna pop over into Joyful's live. I've been live for about an hour and a half. Again, appreciate it. Shout out to Israel and Algo and 3 folks who are in here with me. But I think we're gonna go ahead and end it here. And I'm gonna go ahead and join Joyful Apostates live. Let's go ahead and raid Joyful Apostates live, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and raid that. Hey, Nick, you just joined. Nick just joined. It was a little slow on Nick's live yesterday as well. We got into politics a little bit on Nick's live, but even he was a little slow the other day. Actually, might get one more person. Let's get one more person. Oh, it's Nick. It's Nick. Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good. How are you?
I'm all right.
I actually ended up in your live because I got scrolled out of Joyful's. He's just doing a reset right now, so if people don't see his live right away, he got a slap with some hate speech for some reason, but so he's doing a reset to get rid of that, but he should be going here shortly. But yeah, it's kind of been slow at the office. I've been noticing in other people's lives too that their numbers just aren't up right now. So
yeah, I think what's attracting everyone right now is the politics lives. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because we were a week away from election. Now it's after election, so people are talking way more about politics than they are about religion at the moment. So that's probably why things are a little slow. Was it slow on his live as well, Joyful?
Yeah, it was. He only had a little bit, like less than 30 people when I looked. So yeah, it's a slow one, but hopefully that reset helps him out. And
yeah, definitely. And I'll
creator.
We'll see what's going on. But I guarantee you, like I'll tell Joyful, I'll suggest to him if the next time he goes live, put on a politics one, and he'll see it pop off because people
Oh,
are
yeah, totally.
people are totally on politics right now. But I'm definitely gonna go ahead and see him there, and hopefully like it happens soon. I just gotta charge my phone and we'll be there.
Wicked, I'll see you in the comments. Wicked, I'll see you in the comments.
All right. I see you there.
This